Dog culture and mental tyranny. Today I'm going to give you two situations that illustrate this. Right? The first situation is dogs in the supermarket. Okay, so if we go online, look around, we'll see many cases of dogs go into supermarkets and what happens. It's typically a little dog, a little foo-foo dog, and then it's a bigger dog, like a bully breed or a German Shepherd type dog, a bigger dog. They get into a fight. The little dog gets injured, damaged. There's blood. The ear gets ripped off, and people are screaming in the video and yelling. And the person with the big pit bull type dog, they don't think that they're responsible, and the person with the little dog is running around screaming, mad, and there's little kids. The little kids are face level to these fights, so the little kids are screaming and freaking out more. And meanwhile, the adults are just walking around like, who cares? Screw it. And so let's rewind the clock a little bit. What happened like a half an hour earlier, 40 minutes earlier, when these dogs were entering the store? The managers, assistant managers, and other people, as those people came in with the dogs, what most likely happened? Most likely they got down on their knee or they bent over, they grabbed the dog by the face, like the way you would grab a lover or a friend. And they grabbed them and they kissed on them and they said, "Oh my God, look at your dog. He's so special. He's so cute. Oh yeah, he can come in the store. Oh, is he a service dog? Oh yeah, he's got a little thing that I bought on Amazon that says service dog." Even though he's running around all over, or they got him on a leash and your arm's going like this and you're hollering at him, "Scruffy, get back over here. Fluffy, get back over here. Sparky, come on, Sparky." He's a service dog and he's running around all over the place. Oh, that or he's hidden in the cart underneath a blanket. Like he's so scared of everything he needs to be all wrapped up in a blanket that he's a service dog. No, they're not service dogs, but that's what people will do. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's my emotional support dog." Like what? He's consulting you on the price of food or something? Bullshit. But the whole point is when they come in the store, all these people that have seen the fights before, they've seen displays get knocked over by dogs, they've seen poop on the floor and all that kind of stuff. They don't want to get disapproval of this dog culture, this huge, powerful dog culture. They want to earn the approval. "Look at me, I love dogs. Yes, I love puppers. Oh my goodness." They want to play that little game, even though they know in the back of their head that this could be a problem. There could be some fights going on, but they don't want to earn that approval. And like, say there's 10 people that encounter this dog in person coming in the store. Say two of those people, they've had to deal with these dog fights before, and they've seen little kids get smashed on the ground. They've seen little dogs get their ears ripped off. Those two people, they're kind of wanting to say something. Maybe there's like the greeter. Maybe he's a veteran, an older guy, and he's like, "I've seen some German shepherds really jump into the meat display and knock stuff over, and I've seen German shepherds start fights with the littler huskies because the huskies are so rambly." And if those people would say something to those people coming in with dogs, say like, "Hey, I gotta suggest that you please don't bring your dog in today. A lot of people have dogs in the store, and I don't want to see another fight happen." If one of those people said something like that in that group of 10, that would give two or three more other people that are also aware of what's going on. That would give them the ability to be like, "Hey, wait a minute. My assistant manager's right. My greeter over here, Mr. Smith, is right. He's witnessed a bunch of dog fights. I too, along with my manager, would like to ask you to please not bring your dog in the store." And so that's the whole thing, is you can give other people a platform simply by speaking the truth. Even though when you first speak the truth to these people coming in with their dogs, you're going to get boom punched in the face with all of this. "Oh no, no, not my dog. He's the best dog. He would never. I didn't raise him to fight. I didn't raise him to cause trouble." It's a dog. It's in their genetics. They want to fight. They want to play. They want to tear stuff up. And so yeah, you're gonna have to take that initial hit of all the people pretending like, "Oh no, my dog would never cause a problem. He's a service dog. I got this vest on him from eBay. What are you talking about?" Even though there's a couple people that don't need that constant approval that the dog culture can bring you, that fake quick approval. There's other people in the group that are just purposely shutting their mouth because oh, I don't want the dog lovers. Oh, here comes the dog lover, and if I speak the truth, oh shit, he's going to give me a bad opinion. So those people that are in that group that are like, you can actually take those people and do this to them. Give them a platform. It doesn't mean that the dogs need to be ejected into space or anything. It just means that the truth should be out there at least. Even if the dog still comes in the store, at least then when something does happen, those people that spoke up can say, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. When you came in the store, I did ask you to not bring your dog in the store, and you told me your dog was the cutest fluffer puppo, and now that seems to be incorrect. At least by telling the truth, we're able to get to that next step of, well, now at least we can say the person is liable for their dog, and the rambunctious dog is also liable for what is broken. By initially making everybody adopt a fake truth just so they can get their approval, that's terrible for our society, and it's a terrible mental habit. It's mental tyranny. You know something to be true, you've seen some facts, and you want to develop your idea, but instead you're forced to tuck your head because earning the approval of something is more important than speaking the truth. That's terrible. That's like a drug addiction. That's like crack addictions or something like that. Like all these addictions in our society where can't pay the rent, we can't pay medical bills, we can't support our kids, but we have people out there that'll spend money, 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 money doing all sorts of drugs, crack, meth, like whatever the latest addiction is, cigarettes, alcohol. They'll sacrifice the good things in their life just to get that next hit from their addiction. And this dog culture thing in my store example is very, very similar. And it's terrible because we don't give our people out there that have lots of good truth and information, we don't give them a platform. In another example I want to tell you guys about, it kind of very relates. So remember, they told us we had to wear these things on our face during that COVID-19 thing. We had to wear those on our face everywhere, right, in our cars. Well, there was a few people that were aware of something called CO2 narcosis. Have you ever heard of it? Probably haven't. If you study up on wearing motorcycle helmets or like race cars, have you ever noticed they have like tubes going into their helmets? You get something called CO2 narcosis because with your visor down on your helmet, that area fills up with a high concentration of CO2 and it makes you feel drunk. It can give you tunnel vision. Like if you've ever been on a crotch rocket for a long time with your helmet visor down, you might have noticed that. You kind of get this like in the zone. You're not thinking about anything else. It has huge cognitive problems. It's been proven and tested and illustrated. Too much CO2 can cause lots of problems. You can also get bacteria that grow in your helmet. If the CO2 concentration in the helmet doesn't get remedied by flipping the visor up or slowing down, then the CO2 concentration slowly makes its way into your lungs, and then now you got excessive CO2 here and excessive CO2 here, even though it's this tiny little space. Well, you remember that other thing they told us we need to have on our face all the time, otherwise we're going to kill grandma, otherwise we were deniers of the current thing. Well, you can get CO2 narcosis from that too. And the younger you are, like little kids, and the older you are, if you already have lung problems or breathing problems, that CO2 narcosis is worse for you. So if you have that on your face all day, that's not good, especially when that thing is hanging in your car or on the floor of your truck, and then you just throw it on your face to get in the store. You know, a store where you can bring 3 dirty, mangy dogs, but you have to have that on your face. But in that situation, say there was like 100 people, and 2 or 3 of them were aware of CO2 narcosis, and they wanted to be like, oh, hey, I got to tell you guys a bad thing about putting this on your face all day. The CO2 narcosis can screw with your cognitive things, and I've done a bunch of research, and I found some really interesting studies. Those people don't want to say anything because all the other people that are running around like that, most of them will be like, shut your mouth, put that thing on your face. And even though those people have honest, truth, information that they want to share, they're not saying that everyone needs to remove theirs, they just want to share that information. They don't want to get that disapproval, like with the dog story. They don't want to get that disapproval, and so that's where the tyranny comes in. They'll happily put that on their face and get the approval, even though they know that they're going against something they truly know. And that's the tyranny part of it, the mental tyranny. Like if 2 or 3 of those people that didn't need everyone's approval just went in there and was like, hey, I got to tell you guys about CO2 narcosis, and I got to tell you that wearing that thing on your face can cause CO2 narcosis. And there's examples from the race car industry where they have special vents. There's been many tests with the crotch rocket helmets and inside of offices. If a few of those people went and told that story, then a couple other people out there in that group of 100 that kind of wanted to say something, they would have been like, oh, hey, come here. I read that research too. And then now you got like 5 or 6 people talking amongst themselves, and now they have an interesting platform to share the truth, and they get to feel good and give each other a pat on the back. And maybe they still wear the thing on their face, but now they're doing it better, and they've improved everyone's health and happiness. Even though the people that were shunning those people for doing the research, they, guess what? They still can have that thing on their face. And so what do you think about those two stories? It's very similar, and I'm sure people listening could probably listen to this and think about times they knew something to be true about another person, about the cost of a product, and they wanted to talk to somebody, but instead of doing it, they didn't, because instead they wanted to, get approval. Like back to the beginning of my story, as those people walk in the store with all of their dogs, probably many of them have their phone out and they're taking pictures. Hey, I'm going shopping with Scruffles. I'm going to get him a new pink tutu, and Scruffles is in the purse or in the shopping cart. And you know that on Facebook or Instagram, probably hundreds of people are like, oh my God, Scruffles is so pretty and cute. Why don't you buy him the latest Milk Bones? And so even before people get into the store, they're getting all this approval from society. And if one of those people on Instagram or Facebook was like, oh dude, I took my dog in the store the other day and there were so many little dogs, my dog ended up kind of fighting them. That's really cool that you're taking your dog out, but maybe you should take him to the park instead of the store. That one person that would say that in that group, they would be labeled a dog hater. They would be, deleted as friends or whatever. But even if that happened to them, I bet you in all of those likes and replies, I bet there's 2 or 3 people that had a similar opinion, a truthful, honest opinion that came from many of their life experiences. They would be like, normally they were just going to like sit there and shut their mouth. They would be like, hey, wait a minute. That guy that commented about the dog fights in the store, he makes a good point. Maybe you should, go get those selfies at the dog park instead of getting selfies in the store with your dog. So that's just an example of how people will abandon logic just to get that approval. Like right now, I could go log on to Facebook, find somebody that posted a picture of their dog, and I could say, "Oh my God, your pupper is so beautiful and majestic. I bet his fur is the softest." And I'd probably get within minutes, a dozen little hearts underneath that comment, even though I've never met that person's dog. That dog might have just took a huge dump in the backyard and licked it, and then went there and gave that person a kiss on the face. I don't know anything about that dog, and but yet, if I wanted to get approval, all I got to do is go and pretend to be all into that person's dog, and that doesn't seem right at all. That seems very fake and shallow. Yeah. So mental tyranny. That's my little story. Those are my 2 little cases. I hope you found some interesting insight in those 2 stories. And if you have any similar stories, I'd like to hear them. Thanks. See you on the next one.